Arjuna uvacha evam satatayuktaye bhaktastvam paryupasate ye chapyaksharam avyaktam tesham ke yoga vittamaha. So taking a lead from the previous chapter, the 11th chapter, one can understand that Arjuna's question is very pertinent, because every devotee will have this doubt in the mind, in spite of being a devotee, that whether this supreme reality is with form or formless, right? But the question was not there about it being with form or formless. The question was, as Bhagavan had told, that whether the devotee has single-pointed, unflinching faith in the Supreme or not. That was the advice given by the Lord to Arjuna, that if out of your dynamism, out of your valor, you would like to win over yourself, then there has to be a proper purpose, because Kshatriya blood will always look for victory. Victory over so many kingdoms he would have achieved. And this was a battle where victory was assured to the one who will be righteous, by Bhagavan himself. So, but that is not the end of our achievements. Material gains are not the end of our achievements, is the message given by the Lord very clearly in the 10th and 11th chapters, when Bhagavan says, even if you run after materialistic objects, rest assured that all these forms are none other than mine own. So, after all, in ignorance, even if we are running after objects, we are running after the Lord and none other than the Lord. But this ignorance is keeping me away from my own Lord. This ignorance is keeping me away from reality, my true self. So therefore it is important to remove my own ignorance rather than question the existence of Lord. So this message, so elaborately and so specifically told about Bhagavan himself, by Bhagavan himself also, leads Arjuna to inquisitiveness, further inquisitiveness. That how can I achieve this great goal, which seems to be difficult if I am undecided. If the seeker is undecided, then definitely it is difficult. But if the seeker is sure that no matter how many achievements do I get in this world, I would still like to pursue that ultimate goal about which the Lord has elaborated in Sreemad Bhagawad Geeta, then definitely this inquisitiveness, this urge, this consistency in going towards the wanted goal, you can say, or decided goal. One must go through this 12th chapter where Bhagavan is going to explain whether really one needs that doubt to maintain, or it is better to give away with this doubt so that the progress will be faster. So Arjuna has asked this question, as though it is my question. Who will be more appreciated by Lord? The one who worships the formless, or the one who is worshipping a form, idol? Idol worship is greater, or the one who worships without any idol? This is a constant thought coming up in our minds. Okay, so let us see what Arjuna is asking. Evam satata yuktaha ye bhaktaha tvam paryupasate. Those who constantly and single-pointedly, being integrated from within, worship you, O Lord, in this way. In this way, that is, in the way you have shown me your form. Definitely it is worship of any particular form, or maybe all the forms of Lord. Ye cha api aksharam avyaktam. Or those who worship the formless, one without modification, one which is not possible to be perceived, imperceivable, avyakta, unmanifest. Tesham ke yoga vittamaha. Out of the two kinds of worshippers, who will be called as a better versed in yoga? Those devotees who, ever steadfast, thus worship you, and those who worship the imperishable, the unmanifest. Which of them are better versed in yoga? O Lord, please tell me, Arjuna says. Of course, this is a question to be asked. Because one over the other, those who are worshippers of idols, of different forms of gods, they will say that these people are atheists. They don't believe in God, and therefore they don't go to the temples, they don't worship the idols. Even at home they don't have any idol. And what do they do in meditation? The question will come up in the mind. And those who do not worship the idols, they will say, these idol worshippers are all fake because they worship dolls. Can Bhagavan have a form? The Supreme is formless. So one cannot worship any form. No point going to the temple. What is all this? Shodashopachar, etc. It's just playing around with some materials. It is for self-satisfaction, and there is nothing like God in this world. So on and so forth. So this constant fight between atheism and theism goes on and on and on. It is not only in Sanatana Dharma itself, but it is all over the world. There will be so many such religions who do not believe in any form of God, of course. And then there will be so many such religions who definitely have a particular form of God to be worshipped. But who will be called as a greater steadfast in yoga? This is the question Arjuna has asked. Because no point lingering between the two kinds of worships and then remain indecisive about it. So Arjuna at that point would have thought about it that should I worship a particular god? Or is it okay? In the battlefield anyway, how am I supposed to worship sitting with an idol on an altar? And it's not possible. So similarly, in your field of work, do you think that whole day long you can worship an idol over there? Not really, maybe. So don't you think that it should be, both together? It should be an integrated kind of a worship, where sometimes you are sitting with a particular form of God and telling your stories about whatever is happening to you, conversing with him as though he's there, and the rest of the time you are okay without the form, but then there is a particular impression in your mind anyway. Once you accept a form of God, that form remains even as an impression in the mind. So you continue to remain a worshipper of form, God with a form. The thought itself is a form. The thought has a form after all. So, what is better for a seeker? Who is a greater yogi? The form takes us at the physical level, and we might think this way, that worshippers of form of God, they are at some lower level. And then those who go beyond the worship of forms, they are greater sadhakas, greater seekers. They are more knowledgeable. They don't need form. They don't need to depend upon any particular form. Okay, let us see what actually the thing is. We have to come out of this once for all.